Well, hello everyone, it is me, Scott. You know that guy that you occasionally stumble across here on YouTube? Last night I went to go see my 21st MCU film. 21 Marvel films already? Man, it seems like yesterday I just seen Iron Man, the first one. We're already at 21 with Captain Marvel. And what mixed reviews this film had. And I'm going to share with you my thoughts, my review, and somewhat spoilers. So if you haven't seen probably 200 reviews already, then you may want to stick around or at least get another perspective on this, from that guy that you occasionally stumble across right here, right now. Let's do a little intro. Carol Danvers becomes one of the universe's most powerful hero. There's no doubt about it. She is extreme badass. Yeah, a powerful hero when the Earth is caught up in the middle of a galactic war between two alien races. That pretty much sums it up. However, the one thing, and I'm going to go ahead and get right to it now, that I didn't enjoy about the film, I felt like there was way too much, let me see, how's the best way to put it? In a video, in a movie, in a story. We traditionally have a beginning, a middle, and an end. This particular film, this Captain Marvel, and this is my opinion, okay, I felt like there was a beginning, a middle, and an end. There was a very large backstory. There was constant flashbacks, and that's fine. If you enjoyed it, great. I didn't dislike it. I just kind of felt like, come on, can we get to the, let's see some major, butt kicking or whatever. I mean, there was some action in it, but I just felt like, okay, I got the point, okay? But that's me. The person sitting next to me may have disagreed. Who knows? But like I said, there's a lot of backstory, which it was kind of cool on certain levels. Like, of course, we have Samuel L. Jackson in it. We get a lot of Nick Fury, and more naive, a younger Nick Fury. Of course, he has two eyes, which, of course, if you've seen in the trailers, you've noticed that. And it takes place, I want to say 1995, my guess, the way they did the math. And oh man, do I appreciate the music once again in the mid-90s after watching this film. It was a great soundtrack. Speaking of one particular song, I may or may not say it. Who knows, I may forget. But there's another thing I want to get to, and that's other mixed reviews that I've read, like on Twitter. Major ordeals where obviously this was written by some men. I don't remember exactly who it was, but it made me think. Because I was going to do this last night. I'm like, you know what? I'm tired. I want to think about this film. And it's probably best that I do on most films is get some sleep, then think about it. Because sometimes I like to put myself in their scenario or their shoes or whatnot. And I got to thinking about what I was reading. This particular film, Captain Marvel, was made for women. I mean, women can only relate to this character. I don't know about that. I mean, seriously. I'm going to take myself. I can't speak for anyone else. But let's say, for an example, Tony Stark's. Well, I know myself, I don't ever see myself being a millionaire with all the power and everything that he's had, obviously, through all the films, but even from the very beginning. I mean, come on. For a fact, even just watching me here on YouTube for the past couple years, there's no way I'm going to MacGyver myself out of some cave with some Iron Man suit and then fly off to God knows where and then end up at Burger King later. The Burger King's believable, but I think you get the point. There's no way that I'm going to ever relate to a Tony Stark's. Bruce Banner, well, there's times I can relate to the Hulk because there's days at work I really feel like smashing a few things. But see, on a Bruce Banner level, no, I don't have his intelligence. There's just no way I can relate to Bruce Banner. Not at all whatsoever. And that's quite obvious. Thor, well, he's a god. There's me. Duh. And of course you could have Steve Rogers. I'll leave it at that. Steve Rogers, we're both older than dirt, so that's probably, well, we'll just leave it at that. But with the Captain Marvel, okay, obviously with Carol Danvers, I honestly feel like with her character, I could relate to her more. Now this is going to be a spoiler. Basically in the backstories of her, as a child, as a teenager, as a young adult, she wants to be a pilot. All her life, she seems to more or less get the, dirt kicked into her face. She's always, you're never going to make it, that kind of attitude. And it seems like she just has the worst of luck when it comes to trying to achieve things in life. And I've thought, you know what? I could definitely relate to that. I feel that way a lot in my almost, well, somewhat years of life. We'll just leave it at that. But you know, I also realize that every time I get knocked down, I manage to find a way to pick myself back up. And I noticed that, and I remembered that quite well. And one of the middle backstories of this film, where they showed her character from a child to as an adult, she knew how to pick herself back up. And that I could relate to. So therefore, you can call me a woman all you want. I just felt like I could relate to her a hell of a lot more than I could the other characters. Don't get me wrong. I love Iron Man, Thor, Hulk, Captain America. The list goes on and on. But yes, I could definitely see myself relating to Carol so much more. And like I said, with the soundtrack of the film, awesome. For me, I enjoyed the hell out of it. Because today, I'm not a, I don't want to upset anybody else. I don't like to, you like what you like, that's all that matters. But today's, I guess you could say smartphone sounds that people listen to on Top 40, not my cup of tea. But there was one thing that I was trying to think, is this like a message that they're sending us? Because I know for a fact in the mid-90s, my son was born in the mid-90s. No one talked about records. No one talked about vinyl. But there is one particular scene where you get to hear a great song from Nirvana. And they're showing you a visual as this song is apparently being played from a turntable, a record player. I'm like, that's interesting. Then I got to thinking, there is one thing about today's youth. You guys are finally getting to understand what vinyl is all about, because there ain't nothing that can touch vinyl. When you got a decent turntable, a great receiver, vinyl is truly the best when it comes to listening to music. You get true stereo and an echo through, well, if you take good care of your records. Why am I going into this? I was talking about Marvel. I was talking about Captain America. Well, Captain Marvel, Captain America, whatever. I don't know. I get lost in these sort of things, and I just appreciated the soundtrack and the fact that they showed a turntable in '95. I mean, it just kind of threw me off. I enjoyed the fact that there was some good Samuel L. Jackson in this film. You know, Nick Fury. You get a little bit of a, not a backstory of S.H.I.E.L.D., but at least an introduction of Nick Fury being a little bit more naive, obviously younger. I mean, you could tell from the trailers alone. I mean, he's got both eyes, and of course the cat. That I won't spoil for you, but the cat, however, it's entertaining. That is for sure. It kind of makes me want to go out and get a gold tabby sometime soon. But yes, Nick Fury, Samuel Jackson brought back not the Pulp Fiction humor, but definitely some Samuel Jackson, clean Samuel Jackson humor. And of course, we have Mr. Clark Gregg. At least we had an opportunity. If you enjoyed him in prior, Marvel films and the first Avenger film, Agent Coulson, at least you get a chance to see him in this. Because I after seeing Avengers the first one, I was like, oh man, why did they have to kill him off? I thought it was pretty cool, and all that. So, is there anything else that I'm missing when it comes to Captain Marvel? I mean, yes, the movie is at least 2 hours long. I mean, she does seriously kick some butt, and it makes a lot of sense why they could not have her in Infinity Wars, because, well, Infinity Wars would be a totally different story. And I'm not trying to throw anything off. She's such a major badass, and it's going to be interesting to see how this is all going to play out next month, which obviously in games, which by the way, she's not here to start, or she's here to finish the wars. I don't know. You can read into that all you want. Obviously, Iron Man said something. I think that was in one of the Avengers movies, or I don't know. So many Easter eggs through 21 films. That's for damn sure. And of course, another thing before I forget, in the very beginning where you have your traditional roll of the Marvel logo, yes, they did, and you've probably seen it or heard it already. They did a wonderful tribute for Stan Lee, which for all of us that are fans of Stan Lee or have appreciated for what he's done for us for over the years, for just fans alone, I thought that was really great for Marvel to do that. He does have a little spot in the film. They did a pretty good job of editing it, because you could tell there was a stand-in for him, but there was a clear shot of Stan Lee in it. I'm hoping that they do that for the next, well, we got Endgames, I know a Spider-Man film, we've got an X-Men film coming up, which that looks pretty good as well. I'm looking forward to seeing that. So I'm hoping that they continue at least having that tribute for Stan Lee for at least the rest of 2019. I mean, the man deserves it. There's no doubt about it. So, Oh yeah, there was another thing too that I want to mention before I forget anything else. Recently, I joined a Patreon campaign. You know, it's a crowdfunding organization. It helps out independent artists, in my case, an independent video content creator, will grow his production in a direction that I never possibly could dream. Now, granted, I still have a long way to go, and I need obviously so much faith in you. You could help me grow this campaign for as low as $1 a month. And if you're curious on how that's going to work, well, in the description box, you know, down below, there is a link to my Patreon page. It's always going to be there. You could go to that. It'll give you all the information that you need. Naturally, it's going to tell you a little bit about me and what my goals are. I want you to understand there are going to be reward incentives for you. Now, I'm starting off small. I don't want to, do too much right now. But as I grow, as we grow, as you help me support, because you guys are going to be like, well, basically producers in this. There's definitely going to be more reward incentives for you because you may very well help me live a dream that I never thought was possible. So you never know. I could be just like Captain Marvel. She gets kicked on her, well, you know what, all the time. But thanks to you guys, I may actually achieve a dream that I never thought was possible. So thank you so much for your patronage. I wouldn't know how to thank you enough, and I have a feeling I'll be thanking you till the end of days. So that's it, folks. I really hope you enjoyed what I did here. It's a simple review. I know there's already hundreds of them out there. So if you like this sort of thing, please let me know. I definitely love the movies, and I'd like to share with you more of my thoughts and feelings when it comes to future movies that I plan on seeing this year in 2019. So thanks again, and I hope to see you very soon. Take care and have a wonderful weekend.